Ladies and gents, PepperBelly here, and in this video I'm going to be showcasing a mod for Insurgency available on the Steam Workshop, and that mod is SWAT 4. Now I've been in touch with the creator of this mod for about a week now as he's been progressively improving and developing this mod, and he asked me if I can make a video to showcase it and help promote it, and I'm more than happy to do that because this mod is pretty damn great, if I do say so myself. It uses a ton of the assets that are already available on Steam Workshop, so for different weapons that cater more specifically to the loadouts and equipment that are available in SWAT 4, and makes some pretty noticeable changes that actually ultimately completely overhaul the way this game plays, in favor of something I actually prefer, which is more realistic tactical shooters. So, as you can tell, that all the roles you can select are officers because he doesn't want to restrict which weapons and equipment you can choose, because unlike Insurgency, SWAT 4 allows you to have all the weapons you can possibly need. So you got the MP5A4, which is a way nicer MP5 than the MP5K has stock in the game. So here it is. I encourage you to obviously use this even outside of this mod just because it looks a lot nicer. And it's one of the weapons that are actually available. All the loadouts here, every single weapon you see here is actually available in SWAT 4. You can tell they're very accurate. You got the UMP45, the G36C, the M4A1, the Remington M870 MCS, and of course the Colt Accurized Rifle, which is basically the M16 in this game. So I'm going to go ahead and kit myself out with what you've seen in most of my SWAT videos, which is basically the stock M4 that you choose. So it's going to have I'm going to use the laser sight instead of the flashlight. And the reason, even though the flashlight would be more accurate to the actual SWAT 4 game, the reason why I'm going to be using the laser sight is to demonstrate the lack of free aim. Yeah, you heard that right. Lack of free aim. I mean, that alone is something to, like, freaking get excited about. In fact, you actually got the shotgun here, which I want to talk about real quickly. You can use beanbags. I don't even throw a foregrip on this. That's kind of cool. Beanbags. So you have a less lethal option here, a non-lethal option, when kitting yourself out. And if you look at the explosives, you have the flash grenades, you got breaching charge, and you have a sting grenade. Yes, in fact, there is a sting grenade in this game, in this mod. Same with the beanbag shotguns that function near identical. Beanbags and sting grenades operate the same way, and they actually function pretty damn accurately to the way that they do in SWAT 4. So anyway, let's go ahead and just get my crap set up here. Now I need a breaching charge because I gotta do the objective. Anyway. So when he came to me about a week ago and was talking about the mod he was developing, I was curious. You know, I'm like, okay, cool, SWAT 4 mod. Like, what can you do in Insurgency that's actually gonna stand out from every other mod that's available, and what's gonna make it different? And the very first thing he told me was, well, I removed free aim. And I was immediately like, I'm sold, like, holy shit, have it on my desk by Friday, because that's the greatest thing ever. Because if you guys haven't known, or you don't know, I am someone who thoroughly despises free aim mechanics, because I think free aim is a crutch to lacking proper weapon manipulation. I don't think it's accurate to the real world, because in real life, nobody wiggles their weapon around their friggin' shoulder, alright? Nobody does that. When you're turning and aiming, you're rotating your entire upper body. Your shoulders turn with the weapon, so everything is as stable as possible. You don't wiggle it around because then you lose what people like to call stability, right? You don't want to wiggle a weapon around your shoulder. It's just, anyway. So I don't like the fact that free aim is in games like this. Although it is satisfying at times to, like, pull off perfect point shooting techniques when you're using free aim. Ultimately, it's just not realistic to me, and it's something I just don't like. So he did away with it. Now, originally, there was a little bit. When I first tested the mod about a week ago, there was a little bit of free aim left, like just a little bit of wiggle room, and the reason why was to reduce the chance of being able to just pinpoint accuracy, like shoot people from really, really far away with a ridiculous amount of accuracy from the shoulder without aiming down your sights. Now, it seems he went away and just did away with all of it, so like there is... Did I just lose, guys? Okay, I lost one. Whoa! Okay, so it seems like he did away with all the free aim now. Before there was a little bit of wiggle room, and now it seems like there is none. Which is totally fine, because as you can see, point shooting is viable, but not entirely viable at long ranges, like in reality. Because the recoil is naturally, within Insurgency, exaggerated when you're not using your iron sights. So I mean, if I'm aiming, let's just put my dot, my red dot, my laser sight right on the bottom of that pillar there, like that black line. If I fire, you'll see it bounces all the way to the top, actually. It touches the top black line. So there's that kind of, like a friggin' metal, I don't even know what the fuck that is. But anyway, top there to there, I shoot, it actually reaches the top, right? And if I aim down my sights, and these guys don't get in front of me because I'm not going to shoot them, you'll see that it's greatly reduced. So shooting from like far away as a suppression method works, but wouldn't be viable when you're really trying to kill someone. Where are those rounds coming from? Speaking of which, since I just did it, I kind of remembered. When you're focusing in like this, there is no stamina for it. So you can actually focus in for as long as you want, bringing it closer to something like Arma 3, where it's just a focus you can have unlimited duration of, which I actually like. So I think it kind of just makes it easier to have better target acquisition, that clarity you would have in the real world, which is the whole reason why SWAT, or the whole reason why Arma actually does that in the first place. You just can't really move when you're doing it. So that's the only drawback. But at the same time, it kind of makes sense because you're not going to be walking around and focusing. Like, that would be kind of a little bit of abusive, I think, especially for a close quarter game. But anyway, moving on. Movement speed is reduced, you can tell, right? I move a lot slower. He removed sprint, so holding shift, actually, you will not sprint. Unless, of course, I switch to the melee and run. I switch to my knife, and then I can run. If I have my C2 charge, I can also run. But if you have your weapon out, you cannot sprint. This change was actually made today. He literally messaged me about this, like, not even 4 hours ago, saying he removed sprint. Holy shit. I thought I just saw a guy up there. Freaking out, man. Freaking out. And yesterday, I was actually talking to him about the possibility of making the default walk key, which is Alt, right? If you guys have played Insurgency, you know that you can walk slower, which is the Alt key, but as you can probably tell, you're not seeing a difference, right? I'm holding Alt, letting go. The speed is virtually the same. So I was talking to him about possibly making Alt the faster movement speed, like using scripting and codes to make this, the Alt key, actually a faster walk. Unfortunately, since the game doesn't have proper weapon sway and penalties for moving quicker because of the free aim, there is no weapon sway to speak of, accuracy is way too pinpoint. So if you're actually moving faster, the accuracy doesn't change at all. So it kind of turns into a run and gun kind of experience, which obviously we do not want in a SWAT 4 replication. So ultimately, we're going to have to stick with just being able to move slower, which I'm not too annoyed about. I mean, it would have been nice to have proper weapon sway, so when you're moving quicker, it kind of accurately represents SWAT 4's real movement speed. But unfortunately, there's nothing we can really do about it because because Insurgency itself doesn't even have proper weapon sway. Like, there's nothing there. And what I was saying is that the free aim is a crutch, right? And the reason why is because free aim is pinpoint accurate. Like, if you're moving back and forth and you have the laser, you'll notice the laser is perfectly straight regardless of using free aim or not. And it allows you to be super accurate from the shoulder when you're point shooting without using your sights. The problem with this is that there is no accurate representation of actually moving at speed. So it's not exactly 100% realistic. And that's why I'm not a huge fan of it. I prefer having the weapon fixated to the center, so when you're point shooting, it's instinctive and natural. You know where your barrel is pointing in real life. I've always described it as this: walk into a room and point your finger at somebody. If someone's in a room, walk in, point your finger. It's that easy to point shoot. And obviously, it's not as accurate because you don't know exactly where the muzzle is pointing. You know the direction it's pointing, you don't know exactly where it is pointing. And that's why lasers obviously can help with that, especially if you're using AR or IR lasers with night visions, but that's not really what SWAT teams do, right? They're not going to be running around with nods and friggin' shooting people up in CQB environments or whatever. It's not what's going to happen, so. Nonetheless, this mod is shaping up to be something great, just because of the reduced movement speed, the more methodical play, and the fact that he has less than lethal weapons that you can use. And as you can tell, enemies take longer to die, right? It takes about 4 shots to the chest to kill somebody, 1 shot to the head. And the reason for this is because he actually had a damage model put in place. So if you get hit, you'll actually move slower. even slower, much like SWAT 4. If you get hit in the legs, you can no longer sprint, you can't move faster. It'll make you move slower and slower the more damage you take. Now, before, the way he had it is if you took a round, you weren't able to sprint, but since he removed sprint, it's not really practical. Doesn't really apply anymore, right? I mean, imagine you wouldn't be able to run. If I was getting shot while I was running like this, I'm pretty sure it would stop me. It would kind of like stutter me for a second, slow me down, and I wouldn't be able to sprint. Whether or not I approve of this, to some degree, I like it, but at the same time, the fact that I'm pumping 4 rounds into somebody, although I would do that anyway, right? Like, if I'm going to try to kill somebody, I'm going to put as many bullets on target as I can. But I think it would be more ideal if it was lowered to 3 in the chest. Just because it would kind of enforce that whole 2 to the chest, 1 in the head feel, right? You put 2 bullets into them, and you fire the last round, and you finish off your threat. So 3 to the chest, I think, would be more realistic and keep the game still... or keep the mod the way it is now, where there is still penalties to being wounded, and you can be wounded. Because 4 just seems a little bit excessive. But other than that, it's not too bad. Now I'm going to go ahead and show you guys the sting grenade, because this thing is freaking awesome. And I was pretty surprised at how accurate it works, or how accurate it replicates the actual SWAT 4 game. I got to get out of my spawn so I can use this properly. Now, there's a penalty behind this that, unfortunately, I don't think could be worked around, and I'll explain that in like 2 seconds. So if I throw this, I have my M4 out, I'm aiming down my sights, you'll see that suppression is increased, my screen blurs a bit, and now it's like my aim is just completely ruined. So it's not going to kill me like a frag grenade would, but it's going to completely make aiming a chore. The problem with this, though, is that I can just stop aiming down my sights, and the effect goes away. So there's nothing... I'm not sure if there's really anything you can do about that, because, as I said, like, suppression... I mean, it blows up. You can see the sight moves, or the weapon moves just a little bit. I aim down my sights. It's fucking just... It's crazy, right? It's hard to, like, counter it, just like it would be in SWAT 4, but then I just let go of the sights, and then I'm pinpoint accurate. And if I have a laser, I can just do that to avoid the actual effects of it, right? It just makes it... It's like an easy way to kind of exploit not being affected by it. But like I said, I'm not sure if there's a whole lot you can do about that. Now, the beanbag shotgun, if you use that attachment, operates the same way as the sting grenade. So you can just shoot people with that. It won't kill them, but it'll do that. The thing I'm kind of worried about, though, is that players will easily just not use the freaking sights. You'll be running under the guy, shooting him in the face, like at this range or something, with the beanbag shotgun, and he'll just sit there and spray you down from the shoulder, because if he's not aiming down his sights, he's not affected. I don't know if that can actually be worked around. It would be nice if it could, but I don't think it can be, and that's unfortunate, because otherwise it'd be friggin' perfect if it could be. But I guess flashbangs would be more ideal for actually disorienting your targets anyway. As for the C4, or the C2 breaching charge, C4. As for the breaching charge, the idea behind this is that you'll actually have working doors you can breach through in the future. Now this is where things get interesting, and by interesting I mean, this is where we need help. The creator of this mod needs help. He's been doing this by himself so far with the help of some of the guys behind the operator mod, but ultimately we need people that can further develop the mod by adding different assets. So having maps, we need maps that are specifically catered to, I just went prone. Specifically catered for this game mode, because obviously having massive, expansive maps isn't something we really need. The guy's still alive. And now he's dead. See, like, I'll try point shooting from really far away, like by aiming my sights. Like, I have to shoot slower. Like, if I'm aiming down my sights, I can just spam, but since the recoil is so high, at range, it's more... It's not as practical, so you can't really abuse it too much. Can't even see my fucking laser. See, like, I'm moving slower now. I got hit, I'm wounded. Now I'm, like, moving really, really slow. Whoa, what the fuck? There's a dude over there, too. Let's see if I can kill him from here. Sweet. Okay. Oh my god. Oh no, we lost an officer. They forded the chest and he drops dead. So I like it. If you haven't noticed, I actually really like this mod. Obviously there's a ton of work that still needs to be done, like maps and game modes. I would personally love, like my dream for this mod, what I would love to see it become is a standalone mod similar to that of the SOCOM Insurgency mod and Day of Infamy, where you don't need to subscribe to all the different assets needed, all the weapon skins and everything. Everything is just included in one simple subscription button, which is the mod itself. With that comes a bunch of new maps. So I'm guessing like 3 maps would be ideal. Even 2 would be fine. Like you just gotta have some diversity, right? So if there was like 1 or 2 maps, I'd be perfectly content. 3 would be even better. Where are you shooting at? Oh. Yeah, I'm gonna die soon. I got like pretty shot up. And now I'm moving even slower. And I'm out of ammo. Oh shit. Make sure you always have a full mag. What is that guy doing? Like leaning and shooting. Oh yeah, that's, speaking of which, there is no prone now. You go prone, you can't move around. So there's like no point in going prone. You can crouch though. Because hey, it's like SWAT 4. SWAT 4 had no prone. Oh my god, these guys are everywhere. Damn tourists. So anyway, as I was saying, before I was so rudely interrupted by gunfire, I would like to see this map, or this game, this mod, have maps. Independent maps and a game mode like VIP, Escort, and stuff like that. Which would be just awesome, right? To further solidify the feeling of playing SWAT 4. Howdy. Why are you running into the wall like that? You weirdo. Oh my god, I missed so many times there. I thought I was gonna die.
I'm reloading.
That's pretty much what the mod has to offer, guys. Like, you got overhauled gameplay, which makes it feel a lot slower paced, more in line with how SWAT 4 actually felt. You have no free aim, so that's like a huge plus in my book. I mean, I'm thoroughly happy about that. You got a bunch of weapons that are authentic to the game itself. The less lethal, non-lethal weapons do function as they do, well, obviously, aside from that exploit of being able to not, just don't aim down your sights and you'll be fine from the effects of it. But other than that, it works exactly as it does in the actual game. But the problem is maps and game modes. That's what we need, and servers, because this game runs on a playlist like Day of Infamy and SOCOM Insurgency, which is great, because before it would overwrite all of what you had, like, which was kind of annoying. It still does that with the weapons, so you'll have to unsubscribe from all the weapons that you have and then subscribe to the ones that this mod has, and that's kind of why I wish it would just, like, be all included in one just standalone mod. You just subscribe to the one mod, everything you need is there, and then you can play it independently from the game itself. That would be freaking awesome. That way you can still subscribe to all the mods and workshop items you like, but then when you're in the mood for this, all the assets are already preloaded into the mod exclusively, which would just, like I said, it would be so great. It'd be perfect if that was the case. Where is that guy shooting? Oh, there he is. I see blood. I don't know if he's dead. So I'm hoping that more people can hop on board to assist with the development of this mod, because this is something that can be really awesome for Insurgency in my mind. I mean, I would be playing it, like, I'm not a huge fan of Insurgency, right? Like, I play it, it's fun, I get it, a lot of people like it, but if you're the person who thinks this game is, like, super realistic, I'm telling you straight up that it's not. It's not super realistic. There's a lot of game mechanics here that just feel super arcadey, and they're kind of artificial realism. They're not true realism. like free aim. Free aim is an artificial way of trying to induce muzzle sway and all that, like the penalties of moving and not aiming down your sights without actually really making it feel real, right? It's just like this artificial method that I'm not a huge fan of. But other than that, it's like this mod is shaping up to be something really, really great. And I want to see it completed. I want this mod to be done because it's awesome. Like, what's here is really enjoyable to play. And if you were to get in PvP game modes online with maps that are specific for this mod, close quarter cities like in New York or something, because currently the models we have are NYPD, if someone can actually create New York cities, like interiors of buildings or like even a bank, which would be really, really awesome. If someone can actually make the maps from SWAT 4, that would be even better. Like, everybody would be like, hell yeah, this is awesome. We're gonna go ahead and try out the beanbag shotgun actually just for shits and giggles. I'm probably gonna die horribly like right away, so bear with me, ladies and gents. I'll take sidearm to assist with the fact that I do not have a proper weapon to deal with these people. Put a holographic on there. And a stinger, flashbang, I guess. This will be interesting. I'm gonna shoot someone with this thing in the face. I have no idea how it's gonna affect bots. We'll see in a second. 40 rounds. It's a decent chunk of beanbags. That hurt, man. Get shot in the face with beanbag. You can see it's one. Holy crap. This beanbag is so powerful it punches through concrete. That's gonna hurt. A lot. Come on, where's my first? Poor son of a bitch is gonna get shot in the face with a beanbag. Show yourself, terrorists. I'm hoping at some point in the future as well that the terrorists can get an actual suspect skin. So they don't look like terrorists anymore, they look like actual suspects. That'd be kind of cool. Like gang uniforms and stuff like that. Okay, well, we found the objective. I took a sting grenade and it... I totally fucked that up. Oh, I'm hearing gunfire. Oh, there he is. I see the terrorist. Well. Holy crap. Okay, well. It does more than... It does kill. You shoot them in the head and it's going to kill them.
Hey, I need cover to load.
I mean, I do have beanbag rounds selected, right? Yes, I do. Okay, just making sure because I was like, I shoot them in the chest. It does seem to stun them. Yeah, look at that. It actually does stun them temporarily, not a whole lot. So that's actually kind of neat. But like I said, I'm pretty sure players would just obviously just not aim down their sights and they'd be fine. I'm gonna get him in the head. Holy shiz. Okay, well, now I'm dead. Well, that's the mod, guys. That's pretty much everything it has to offer. To summarize, no free aim, less lethal weapons or non-lethal weapons. And that's the... Well, I mean, the no free aim thing should be enough, right? That should just be like, there's no free aim. Oh my god, I'm on board. But, I mean, it plays a lot differently, and it's something I actually enjoy more than the base game of Insurgency itself. And that's saying something. Like, I prefer this. Significantly more. Put a red dot on there. So I mean, it's fun. You know, there's a ton of potential here, like a ton of potential here for a really, really fantastic mod. We just need maps and game modes. Which VIP Escort is something we're thinking of, or he was talking about. And there's a bunch of other game modes we could possibly make. That guy just absorbed so many bullets. Do this sick tactical reload. This guy's just standing here like, I'm being shot at, but, you know, that building sure does look interesting. Right, bud? See, that's kind of why I wish that bullets did a little bit more damage, because one of the reasons I think having a ton of damage required to kill someone, like 4 bullets, in a game like Insurgency, is that there is no penalty for getting shot. Like, he added the ability that you slow down, right? You get hit, you move slower, but there's no actual, like, flinch mechanic inflicted on a target. In SWAT 4, if you got hit, it actually, like, impacted your aim, it impacted the moment, like, you staggered a bit when you got hit. Same with when you shot suspects. In this game, you're shooting someone 3 or 4 times, and they're still shooting back at you with pinpoint accuracy, which, it's the Arma 3 effect is what I like to call it, where they're getting hit and they're flinching, but they're still returning fire, and they're not really affected by the fact that they're being shot with a fucking bullet. And unfortunately, there's nothing you can really do about that. So, I mean, having less time to kill, so less bullets required to kill someone, can kind of alleviate some of that. And this guy's not even, he's got him in his sights and he's not even shooting. Come on, James! Damn it, James. Why did you ever make it into the SWAT? And he pulls out his knife. Yes, James, you are the SWAT officer every man needs. Now we got Jamie here who's just like, if I crouch up and down really, really quickly in tandem with him, surely one of us will die. Anyway. That pretty much wraps up the video, guys. I've been talking for 27 minutes. Holy shit. But yeah, that's the SWAT 4 mod. So go check it out on Steam Workshop. If you have Insurgency, install it, try it out, see what you think of it yourself. And more importantly, talk about it. Get this man some help. Get this man some help developing this mod so that it could become something freaking amazing. Like a total conversion overhaul like Day of Infamy. That would just be so great, because I would play it all the time. It's kind of like the Operator mod, but just better. Like, just, I want this game. I want this mod. I want it to exist. I want it to be, like, complete with maps and game modes and everything, and it'd be just so freaking awesome. Anyway, my name is PepperBelly. Thank you guys for joining me today on this video, and I'll see you guys on the next one.